Hi guys, today we're going to go back to number 13, which is the last note sheet and homework in your packet. After this, you're going to have to start printing out the homework and the notes. You had to do that yesterday on Monday, and you'll have to do that tomorrow on Wednesday. But just for today, we're going to go back and do this last lesson. It's called area of a triangle. And at the top of the page, we're giving you the area formula, which is base times height over 2. So if you want to just write that out, if you're not sure what B and H are, B is the base of the triangle, and H is the height, and then A is the area, if you're not sure. So let's take a look at number 1. Find the area of a triangle whose base is 10. So that means B is going to be 10, and H is going to be 4. So we have 10 times 4 all over 2. And you can plug this into your calculator if you want, or you can do it out by hand. Either way, you're going to get 20 as your answer. So this lesson is just plugging in B and H, or A in some cases. Find the height of a triangle whose area is 60. So that means A is 60 and base is 12. So we're going to plug in 60 for A, and then the base is 12. I don't know what my H is. I'm trying to find that. Now, I can solve this one of two ways. The first way I can solve this is I can put 60 over 1, and then I can cross multiply. So that's going to be the easier way. The other way you can solve it is you can just multiply both sides of the equation by 2 to get rid of that 2 in the denominator. So when I cross multiply, I get 12H equals 120. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 12. And I get H equals 10. For number 3, find the area of a triangle whose base is 8 and height is 5. So B is 8 and H is 5. So A equals 8 times 5 over 2. Again, you can plug this in your calculator if you want. And you should get 20 as your answer. For number 4, triangle ABC where AB is perpendicular to BC. So let's draw that. Perpendicular means I have a right angle there. AB is 12. AC is 13. Find the area. So when I'm looking at this, I know that my height is going to be that 12. And my base is going to be whatever BC is. So I need to find BC. Now, since this is a right triangle, I can use Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to plug in 12 for my A, X for my B, and 13 for my C, because remember, C is always across from the right angle. And then I'm going to solve for X. So you should get 5 for your X. So now I can plug in to find the area. So I have area equals my base, which is 5, times my height, which is 12, over 2. And I'm going to plug that right into my calculator. And I get 30 as my answer. Next one, given the base of a triangle is represented by x plus 6. So I'm just going to write on the side over here. And the height is 2x minus 2. Express the area as a trinomial. So my area equals base times height over 2. So I'm going to do my base, which is x plus 6, times my height, which is 2x minus 2, all over 2. So now I'm going to multiply this out. So I have x times 2x, that's 2x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. 6 times 2x is 12x. And then 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. And that's all over 2. And now I'm going to combine my like terms. So I have 2x squared, and then negative 2x plus 12x is 10x minus 12 all over 2. And remember, when I'm dividing by 2, I have to divide everything by 2. So 2x squared divided by 2 is just x squared. Negative 10x divided by 2 is negative 5x. And then negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. So my final answer is x squared minus 5x minus 6. Given rectangle ABCD. So I'm going to start out by just drawing that. AB is 5. AC is 10. Find BC in simplest radical form. Okay, so here I have a right triangle because this is a rectangle, so I have 4 right angles. So again, I'm going to use a Pythagorean theorem. So my longest side across from the right angle is always my C, and then I'm going to call AB my A. So my A is 5 squared plus, and B is what I'm trying to find, so I'm going to call that X. And then I'm going to solve for X. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And then I need to simplify my radical. So I'm going to use my calculator to do that. I'm plugging into y equals 75 divided by x squared. And I'm looking at my table for my largest pair of whole numbers, which is 5 and 3. So the 5 stays on the outside of the radical, and the 3 goes underneath the radical. So my final answer is 5 radical 3. So I'm going to put that over here. Oops. Find the area of triangle ABC in simplest radical form. So triangle ABC, I'm going to take it out of my rectangle here, and my area is my base times height over 2. So my base is going to be this 5 radical 3. And my height is going to be my 5 all over 2. 5 times 5 is 25. Keep my radical 3 all over 2. And you can just leave your answer like that. You don't have to simplify it any further. And then for the last question, square WXYZ. So I'm going to draw that. And it says XZ equals 6. Find the perimeter of WXYZ in simplest form. So I know that all of these sides are equal. I'm going to call them something other than X. Let's call them A. So I know I can use again the Pythagorean theorem because these are all right triangles. And my longest side is going to be that 6. So I'm going to plug 6 in for C. And then I'm going to say A squared plus another A squared equals 6 squared. So A squared plus A squared equals 2A squared. And I'm going to solve for A. So I have A squared equals 18. Find the square root of that. In simplest radical form, when I simplify radical 18, I get 3 radical 2. So all of these sides are 3 radical 2. So remember, perimeter means I add all the sides together. So I have 3 rad 2 plus 3 rad 2 plus 3 rad 2 plus 3 rad 2, which gives me 12 rad 2. as my answer for my perimeter. And then the area of x, y, z, that's going to be base times height over 2. So that is 3 radical 2 times 3 radical 2 all over 2, which you can plug right into your calculator, and you should get 9.